have a lot of flowers. It feels like I never have a lot of flowers, and then when I try to pick them, I have a lot of flowers. That's all. Oh dear.
Just be careful with those buckets. You know what happened to Jack and Jill.
Yeah. I love these snapdragons. There's a new variety that I grew from Johnny's that's a double pink snapdragon. Oh, it's beautiful. It has a different shaped flower. But
So how long are these snapdragons going to be in bloom for?
till I cut them.
Like you're going to get 2-3 months of flowers out of these, maybe?
You know, we do have a sporadic bloom though, because when I planted them, they kind of got frosted over. So it delayed them a little bit. But they are growing. I have some shorter ones. You know, our soil is not great here, so we didn't weed or fabric these. So they did struggle a little bit to get going. But I'm quite happy. I mean, they're pretty decent size for having just been thrown in and to the wolves. So I'm pretty happy. I love this. This is just like summer tropical color.
So now the buds that aren't open, they will open after they're cut?
Yes, they will. They'll be beautiful. And you don't want to harvest when there's too many open, because once the bees pollinate these that are open, the flower's done, so it'll fall off. But snapdragons have so many buds going up their stems that they last a long time, which is why people love them.
I know it was funny last week. I'm working at the store and Shelley makes up these bouquets. So I keep them in the cooler and I would open the door to pull the bouquets out and the women would be like, "What are those? I want those." And I'm like, "That's just like a pail of snapdragons." "Well, I'll take 13 of those." I'm like, "Okay." They were making their own bouquets in our cooler.
They're pretty popular. Like, snapdragons are just beautiful. People love snapdragons. The annoying thing about snapdragons, though, like from my perspective, is that they tend to lean toward the sun. So because they're like a line flower, if I hold this like this, it's just going to naturally go toward the sun. So in the cooler, if there's a light, they naturally bend toward the light. And once they bend, they don't really go back. So you have to store them like straight up and down, or just get them in the cooler in the dark as quick as you can.
I have this new game I do with the cooler. I go outside and I work until I get real hot and sweaty. And then I go into the cooler and I watch the temperature literally go up 5 degrees.
Yeah.
As I steam in there.
That's not good for my...
Well, it's good for me, and I don't know.
All your gas you release.
Well, who knows? Maybe, you know, my sweat particles will help the flowers.
Definitely not.
Hydrate them.
Do you know what I like about these, though, also? So I didn't pinch my snapdragons this year. Normally I pinch and you get multiple stems per plant, but I didn't pinch. And so when I cut these back, they could start growing little side buds. They're not going to bloom as big as these, but you will get a rebloom if your season's long enough. So see how these bottom ones start to branch out again, and then you get like little... You're supposed to pinch and get multiple flowers per stem, but...
That's an awful lot of plants to pinch.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take that long, and I should have done it a long time ago. But the problem was I didn't really know that they were going to do so well, because if you pinch them, then you delay them even more. So I guess I could have had snapdragons for months if I did pinch half of these. You know, I could have pinched some and left others, but I didn't, and I'm kind of happy because I have a nice selection of snapdragons. I mean, these are gorgeous. Look at these, a ruby. And we just harvested these yesterday, but they're already starting to open a little. See that dark fuchsia wine color? I love that. So I'm
what
happy.
if you tickled them instead of pinching them? Maybe they would reward you more.
Only you would come up with that.
Well, normally when you pinch something, you piss it off. Tickling.
Yes, that's what you're doing. Because the plant wants to like put up its flower as quick as it can. And when you pinch it, it's like, oh crap, I lost my bloom. And it goes mad and sends up multiple side branches because it's pissed. Oh, bummer.
Unfortunately, that doesn't work with the wife. You don't want to pinch the wife, especially when she's asleep. It's like waking up a hibernated bear.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Well,
Pinch me and find out.
I did once, and I regretted it.
All right.
I got up on the wrong side of the bed after that one.
Yeah. There was no right side of the bed.
No, there was just a right hook. I wasn't expecting it. It was my wake-up call. Gone wrong. I'm going to try to sneak over here and get a better shot of these beautiful flowers.
Yeah, these are beautiful. They are beautiful. And I love that the plugs that I ordered for these snapdragons, they actually came with multiple snapdragon plugs in one cell. So some of these have like 2 and 3 plants per planting, and they still did great. So I guess I don't have to worry too much about planting. If I have more than one plant, as long as I'm not pinching, we're good. So I think I like that idea. I'm learning some things this year. Teach an old dog new tricks. You know about that?
Well, the problem is you just don't know how to sit and stay.
No. That's clever.
Yeah.
But
Or
correct.
go home.
See, look, here's a good example. So that snapdragon laid down. It's still connected. Can you see it?
Yeah.
The one on the ground? Look at where
It's reaching for the sun.
yeah, look where the head is. So it's laying on the ground like this. That's what they do.
That's cool.
That's a tickler.
I like that.
That's a tickler.
So in a way, you could almost make cool flower
You could manipulate.
arrangements by tying these things down or something.
Yeah, I guess. But
Like lay a board down on some of them so they're laying down on the ground and then they shoot that way.
yes, because in all my free time, I want to manipulate my flowers into right hooks.
Well, somebody's going to steal that idea. I just patented that idea.
Most people want their snapdragons they're straight up in a bouquet. I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah, but isn't a snapdragon like that thing they do in the parade, that dragon that they run around on like broomsticks or something? Is that what a snapdragon is or no? What is that
I don't
called?
know what you're talking about.
Like if they celebrate the Chinese New Year or something,
I don't know what.
they have like this dragon
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know if that's what that is.
Well, sorry that,
Just because it has dragon in the name.
I've been to Chinatown.
Okay. Beautiful.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
What?
This is like,
This is the fun part.
yeah, when you get up in the
for the
morning.
most part, it's the fun part. Sometimes it's not fun harvesting. When you're rushing against the sun, but it's cool out this morning. Normally at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's too late to harvest.
Yeah, it's going to be 70 degrees today.
No, it's going to be 79.
Well,
That's a big, you told me 70 and I was all excited. Then I looked and it said 79 and I was like, oh, that's a little different. That's 80.
it's going to be like 94 on Sunday, so we better get things done today.
Yeah, that's why, yes, that's why I have.
Cody and I are going to finish doing this
You
bridge.
guys should help us get the dahlias in the ground.
Oh,
because
come
that's-
on now.
Well, I'm just saying, priority. The bridge is really not a priority.
It is a priority because it's almost assembled right now.
That's why you and I think differently.
Well,
This is the money-making crop, not the bridge. If you really want to go there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
oh, we don't want to hear that.
No.
Yeah.
I have to convince my employee to grab a shovel. That's harder than to grab a drill
grab a shovel, or
and
you
a
have
saw.
the day off.
Oh, really? You're going to tell him that?
Why can't you tell him that?
Because
you pay him to do what you got to do.
I'm using him as an excuse so I can get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
Because you don't want to do it.
Well, I have two options. Hang out with Cody and do cool things, or hang out with Cody and the wife and dig holes. I will take A for 200.
Well, then don't complain when we're here working all hours of the night because it's too hot during the day.
Since when do I complain about anything?
Since you were born?
Please, I was here bright and early, watering your garden. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do?
I don't know. You kind of do that on your own. I don't ask you to do it.
Well,
I did water yesterday.
I don't want to do it when it's really warm, so it's nice to get here.
It's not good to do it when it's really warm.
It's nice to get here early and spend an hour just watering. It's kind of relaxing.
Peaceful here when there's not a lot going on.
It is. That's my favorite time, is when I get here in the morning and no one is here but the barn swallows.
Little squawkers.
But I like them. They kind of remind me of myself.
They do. They complain and they bitch and they wah, all day long.
Because you keep invading their space, that's why. See, we have something in common.
You said it.
I do have one stall now in the basement of the barn that is officially mine. A surveyor came. I have 1/1000th of an acre. That is mine. Wife cannot do anything without asking me. Or what's a stall? What's the dimensions of a stall? It's not even an acre. I think it's 9 by 12.
Oh, it's 9 by 12.
Yeah.
See, I'm not very good at
So.
guessing. You want to go put these in my car?
Sure.
I know that was a no, but I'm.
No. Well, should I put them in the shade? Maybe on the
my
side?
car is in the shade.
Okay.
Or you can put them on the road in the shade, but.
I could put them, like, hide them behind the high tunnel in the shade, and then we could throw them in the vehicle on our way out. Those are absolutely beautiful.
Oh, look, these are the pods I was telling you about. They're so cool. Remember you were asking me about I was telling you about the blue flowers and the nigella?
Yeah.
Look at the pod. That looks like hairy balls, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you're a senior citizen.
Well, I'm just saying.
And you have
our hairy balls milkweed is still in the winter sowing jug. I need to get them in the ground.
So we never got to witness the final hairy ball situation?
No, we can. We just got to go get it. We got to put them in the ground so they have room to grow. These are beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful.
Well,
I love this. I'm assuming these are late for me because they did die back. You know, I tried to plant early, like really cold, and boy did we get really cold.
so if you were pruning hairy balls, wouldn't you be womanscaping hairy balls? No, you would be womanscaping.
Well, from my perspective, yes, but I would be doing it on you, so.
Well, now, hey, let's keep our personal life out of this.
Ew. I would never. It was bad enough taking a tick off your balls.
Yes, the other night I had a tick below my, fill in the blank.
I think you put
Oh
it
my
there.
God, I was in the shower and I was doing a self-examination and I was rudely interrupted by a tick. And yeah, needless to say, I couldn't wait for my wife to help me out with it, and
boy, did I help it out.
boy, she did, because the tick, she didn't get the tick, she got like about a quarter pound of flesh.
Ew.
First. The tick jumped off. She scared the tick. She missed it the first time.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No,
I have a scar down there.
It was in and it didn't come out.
You pulled out a pubic hair. It was horrible. And the tick was like, forget this, and he jumped. I don't even think the tick, did we ever get him?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, sorry to share those personal details. I guess we'll have to delete that in the editing, possibly. We'll see.
I'm gonna leave some of these.
So, how many blue flowers are in existence? Because it is kind of weird to see a blue
Siri
flower.
Question.
What do you mean?
You can ask Siri how many blue flowers. Like there's delphiniums, which are true blue. Like Tweedia is a true blue. There are some, but it's not. A lot of times people will call something blue and it's purple. But these are true blue, and they're beautiful, and they're actually coming in very handy at the moment.
They do brighten up the bouquet, and if we're
I
doing
love the color. I love the color blue. I love this exact color blue. I think it's perfect. It's very versatile for arranging flowers. And you don't need too many because they're the airy, they're like the sparkle in the bouquet. And I love that the pods are coming because the pods I can put in dried arrangements, and I'm not going to keep up with all these anyway. So this was another crop that was amazing. We put them in, and you know, it's tolerated some. See, a lot of, like here, they didn't bloom, but they also they're fighting a little bit of weed.
well, doesn't it help make it stronger when it has to fight the weeds? Like
They might get taller.
like
But it's not, no, because they're not getting the full nutrition that they probably could if they didn't have weeds to fight with.
well, in a way, it's kind of like pinching them. They're getting pissed off that these weeds are invading their space.
Well, no, it works for height, yeah. It doesn't work for nutrients. They're sort of fighting for nutrients, though. I would like more of the flowers to be open.
Like these look more like a weed.
They do?
Yeah.
Not to me.
Well, they have the characteristics of a weed.
They're cute.
But in reality, I guess these are the blue ball version of hairy balls.
Look, these are beautiful. The stock is beautiful. I really didn't harvest a lot of these, and I could have. I kind of assumed they were done. I hate to just leave them on here, but I didn't harvest at the right stage for these.
So you can't harvest these now?
Those are good event flowers because they're open now, so they would most likely need to be used. Like I could use them on Sunday for the graduation party. See, now this bupleurum, which I had never really grown before, this is great. I love this yellow. It reminds me of euphorbia in a way. But that's a great filler. So, and look at it all. Wow. It's happy.
I know my wife had me digging up mint this week.
Yeah. Mint is great. Mint is a great filler. It smells good. Like, this is kind of hard to strip though.
Well, you could probably add mint to like zinnias or bouquets
Yes.
where the flowers don't have any scent to it,
Right.
you know?
Yep. Dahlias. And the thing is, because people, their first instinct is to like sniff flowers. And when there's no flowers, you're like, oh, okay, you just took a big whiff and there was nothing to follow it up with, so.
My first instinct when I saw the mint and smelt it was double mint gum. So I started chewing it, and it does not taste like gum. It's
there's no
actually
sugar.
rather sour.
There's no sugar.
Well, there was nothing minty about it.
What?
The mint. It didn't taste good.
Maybe you got an insect-ridden one.
Have you ever eaten raw mint? Like, do you have to do something with it?
No, it should be minty.
It wasn't minty. Or maybe it was like double mint gum after you chewed it for 20 hours.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it tasted like.
See, I could do actually some mixed bouquets now with the snapdragons and bupleurum. Instead of doing straight bunches, I can make these snapdragons last a little longer. See how nice this is though with the fabric?
Yeah.
You know, the fabric really does, it really does help. It helps with my sanity.
It's hard to initially plant with the fabric, but
It's not actually. It's hard to install it first. And then planting it, it's a breeze. Because it's already pre-spaced and... I like processing in the field because when I go into the space to make bouquets, I don't make a big mess with stripping leaves.
she waits for the lawnmower guy to come and clean up this mess in aisle 3 here.
Yeah.
Wife does not care about cleanliness when it comes to getting her flowers out of her garden.
I'm just messy. You know what? I'm messy in a lot of ways. It's just like my personality. It's just the way it is. That makes me creative, though. I've heard messy people are creative. They're the most creative.
Speaking of messy, because the fabric is down, these are these perennials or no?
No.
So that's going to be messy, right?
No, because I'm going to plant sunflowers in here.
So when these are done, you don't have to pull the weeds or anything out? You're just going to...
Yeah, you got to pull the weeds out.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's going to be fun. It's going to be like whack-a-mole. Except you're going to be whacking a weed instead.
Yeah, you won't be doing it.
You're darn right. Thank you for predicting the future.
I don't know, after that comment, I might change it up.
Well, the fortune teller said you're screwed.
You know what else is a good filler? Right behind you. Behind those snapdragons, the doubles.
Oh, those look cool. I didn't even notice those.
Yeah, those are Sarinth.
Wow, you're lucky I didn't mow those. They're past the fabric line. I almost did mow those.
These are these are wilty when you pick them. And I haven't quite figured out, I know you're supposed to boil them, but we don't have a way to boil the stems here. So they tend to wilt. So I'm gonna pick a whole bunch of these and bring them to the cooler, recut the stems, and hopefully I can use them. But it's kind of a pain. But they're pretty.
You're supposed to boil them?
Well, you're supposed to boil the stems because what happens is bacteria and stuff get up here and the air seals off the stem and then they wilt because they can't take up water. So they're like pouty. But I'm going to clip the whole 9 yards and see if I can't get them to...
And where did you discover this from, this flower?
Because I picked them. Oh, what do you mean?
Like, what made you want to plant these?
They're pretty. They have blue foliage and they're like they're a nice filler. See, they have little striped flowers on there. See that?
Yeah.
They're cute. And I love blue. I like the blue hue. Same with the Baptisia that I use with dahlias as filler. I love the blue hue to the fillers. So, but I guess in general. All right, let's leave those there for a minute. I gotta come over in my yarrow. My roses are coming along finally. Japanese beetles. All right. Ooh, look at these guys. These guys are short, but look at these guys. The pink one's beautiful. This is beauty.
Those look like that weird candy. What the heck is it called?
Oh, rock candy?
Something. It's bringing back bad memories. I think I chipped a tooth on it, whatever it was.
These are, I mean, the stems are a little short, but I think I can get away with using these. And I was supposed to pinch them a little. Look at this.
So,
Kind of wacky.
so these will puff out a lot more if you leave them, right?
Yeah, they're going to bloom a lot more. I'm just going to take a few, though, because those look cool in bouquets. Like, look at it. They're kind of weird.
It's starting to get hairy down there.
Yeah, it's starting to be weird.
They look like the wig of a troll.
Yeah, something.
Emma is not into trolls anymore. Now she's into Stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was running around here the other day with her Stitch doll, and I was afraid a turkey buzzard was going to come down and grab her and Stitch.
Yeah.
The thing makes all these weird noises. She's walking around the house with this puppet alien named Stitch. So thank you, Disney. So what does the puppet do besides make weird noises?
He talks, makes sounds.
Yeah?
I heard 3
Does he dig holes?
What?
Yeah. Does he dig holes?
No, but you can pet him.
I don't need to pet him. I'm afraid I'm going to see the eagles carrying him away from here. That's what I'm afraid
I'm never
of.
going to let him go.
Yeah?
He's cute.
Well, you will if you're 20 feet in the air in the grips of a eagle foot.
He talked back to you.
He's a dummy. Listen here.
He's going to
All
bite
right.
you. Look out.
I gotta go back to it. Hey, get that thing out of here.
Cool, I can't believe that I'm actually harvesting some. These I just planted from tiny little plugs. They got pretty big. I was supposed to pinch them, and had I pinched them, I probably would have got taller stems and later blooms, but they're kind of cool looking.
So I don't recall seeing these in our home garden.
No, but I can put some in. I do have extras. I have about 9 extra plants from each color. I have purple. See these guys? These are purple ones. See, this is what you want right here. See that? That's cool. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that at the top. Like, is that a bug thing or a...
So for inspiring flower farmers, is there like a
Aspiring or inspiring?
inspiring, or I think both?
Yeah.
Is there a place to go to figure out what type of flowers to purchase? Like for cut flowers, is there an almanac or something you can go to that says, hey, if you want to be a cut flower farmer,
No, you just...
here's how you get started. Here's the best flowers to purchase.
Yeah, I guess you could look all that stuff up. You
Like-
also have to do it based on your personal preference. You know?
So were you aware of these flowers' existence before
Yeah,
you
but
became a flower
this
farmer?
is like the Skylar version.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like Veronica. Veronica is like, it's been around, but this is a version that is like really good for cut flowers. And there's lots of, you know, places like Farmer Bailey. They give you like a real good lowdown on what will work and what won't, and what's really great for cut flowers and what's not, you know, all that kind of stuff. So like all of these that are kind of done, I'd like to harvest and hang upside down because I'd love to do some dried flowers. So I may do that.
Wife was hanging from the beams last night.
Look at that.
Hanging flowers, lavender or
Yes,
something.
and oh, that's the other thing. I have a ton of lavender. Like all the stuff that I put in, I'm actually like getting harvest from. I'm excited.
These are pretty wild.
Yeah.
Now, do you have some of these down at the barn gardens too, or no?
No, but I can. Like the thing is, I bought some of these to trial because a lot of people buy like the peachy ones of these. And I'm not like a peachy fan. This is like perfect. This is right up my alley. Like if I want to dry that, that'd be great.
She's
Plus,
peachy
yarrows-
keen. She's not a peachy fan.
No, I'm not at all. But I love this. This is beautiful. So, and they make really good filler for bouquets. Like I am learning a lot this year about the things that I've chosen, and I'm not upset about really anything that like I put in. The geums came out great this year, like better than I imagined. And yeah, just like, and now all of this, hopefully I'm not cutting too deep on these, but I'm hoping they'll come back. But like I have a graduation party in red and white on Sunday, and that's what I'm going to be using for a lot of the bud vases on the tables. So great.
What about the Budweisers on the table?
For a graduation party, I'll be fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess we'll hide them elsewhere.
Yeah. That's what you'll be having.
Gonna have to.
But this is great. I mean, I'm thrilled. I'm hoping I'm not cutting these too deep. Like I'm cutting them as far as, but I think the plant itself is actually fine.
So is it safe to say that you kind of learn something new every day? I know
All
that's
the time.
cliche, but
Yeah. I mean, I especially like planting things and like grow it in the high tunnel. You know what? High tunnels are great, but it is freaking annoying to water. We definitely have to get irrigation set up because it is such a time-consuming, necessary, mandatory task, and it's annoying. I wish we'd had something set up, but again, we're also learning how to grow in it. But that is one thing from this year that I'm like,
you know, you're right, because I was watering this morning by the blueberries,
yeah,
and I was watering it for a good 10 minutes. And then I was kind of curious, so I dug my hand down, and it was just bone dry, like not even a quarter of an inch below where I've been watering,
Yep.
and saturating.
yeah.
And it's just like, oh.
But you have to remember, it never gets rain.
And that's the
So-
problem. You almost have to water it at least an hour, hour and a half a day. And who has time for that?
Yeah. You know, that's why a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, my stuff is dying. They think they water it. And it's when you think you're done watering, water again, and then again after that. Like, people are like, oh, it's such a waste of water. And it's like, nope. Especially if you're growing in pots. Like, when you have 90 to 100 degree heat, the soil dries out in the pot. So when you water, the top of the soil is wet. But if you take out the soil, take out all the plants in the pot, you'll see the bottom is bone dry because the water runs right down the sides because the soil has dried out so much. They call that a state of hydrophobia.
So you take it from a water boy. You need to three-peat it.
Yeah,
You got to water it at least 3 times. Good
yeah.
watering.
And
So
more-
I have like a pattern. You just do it, and you kind of water it once, come back, and then go back.
Yeah. Yeah, like sometimes I'll tell Madison to water, and she'll go water, and then I'm looking at stuff, and I can tell just by the way it looks that she just watered. Like, she of all people should know, but she, you know, it's easy to just top water things, but that's not what they want. They need the deep soak because it all depends on the soil. Everything comes back to soil. If the soil is hydrated, yeah, you can give it a quick drink and it'll be fine. But if it's something that needs rehydration, you have got to spend some time watering it. These are beautiful.
If there's one thing I learned about being a flower farmer here for the last 3 years, it's how important soil and water are to the success of your
Yes.
crop.
Yep.
You know, most people make the same mistake. They buy a plant, they go home, they dig a hole, they put the plant in the hole, and then they forget about it. They expect it to do something. Next thing you know, they're back at Walmart complaining with this pot and a dead plant, and it's their own fault.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing.
They just don't know. They don't know the importance. Nobody, you know, a lot of times people buy on impulse and they don't research. Me, but luckily I've grown enough to like know, you know, the majority of what you need to do. I am so thrilled with these. I'm actually going to harvest most of these and I'm going to hang them because these are ready to come out.
You're going to have to hang them. You only have 2 pails available.
Well, yeah, these are going to be. I'm just going to take the red ones for bouquets.
So, when you dry out those flowers, aren't they eventually just going to crumble up? Like,
Yeah, if you dry them correctly, though, you should get some. You got to dry them how you want them. Like, if I was smart, I would take all of these flowers that I want to dry, make the bouquet, and then dry it. But I don't have the time for that, so.
so in a way, dead flowers actually outlive live flowers.
Well, they outlast. Let's say that.
Well, if you prefer,
Outlast is a
but
better way to
I guess that's the proper punctuation or
grammar.
grammar.
You'll get it.
Yeah, it's Sounded better, I guess. I'll agree with you there.
That's because it was correct.
Maybe. My version was correct. It was just the long way around it.
Okay.
Or the short way.
All right. You want to help me get some of this?
Yes, I will. Well, honey, it was great spending my morning here in the field gardens with you.
Yeah.
Documenting you cutting these beautiful flowers. And I look forward to the rest of the day here with you on the farm.
Yes. And you know what?
You're going to say something nice to me?
Yes, I appreciate you watering, but I'd also like you to get a shot of this yarrow before it no longer blooms.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because I don't think I've ever harvested this much of something. Whoa. Let's not do this stuff. Whoa. I got one more.
Beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
I don't know. You're going to have to hold it in
Whoa.
front of your face because you always do steal the limelight,
Oh,
honey.
stop it. There we go. Look at that. That
Oh
is
my
beautiful.
God.
And
I
it's
found my
red.
screenshot.
And it's red.
It's beautiful. Now, do you want a photo of this as well?
Sure.
Beautiful.
Can you grab those before?
Yes,
they
I
hit the
will.
bucket?
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, we're gonna go enjoy our beautiful harvest.
See you next time.